This is the check-in procedure, which usually the supervisors deal with, so you guys don't really have to worry about it unless like a player runs up to you and is like, I just got here, put me in the game. Just make sure that they come to a supervisor. If it is, are we playing at the fields or the gazebo? Because you wrote gazebo.
That's old.
Okay. Yeah, so
if we're playing here at the fields, they will check at that front building right there.
yeah, so we'll usually catch them because they'll just start running by us and we'll get them at the front. But they just make sure you check them from jewelry because we're supposed to look for them, but they hide it and it's hard to see them when they run by and we're in that small little office. So just double check them before the game or throughout the game for jewelry. It's a big problem with people for some reason.
Sid, are you allowed to officiate jewelry?
Yeah. Okay, I have props, I guess. Here you go. You guys can pass these around. Pass one back there. These are the score sheets, which usually I believe the office assistant is supposed to fill it out, but if not, the person in the building will fill it out for you. I mean, I at least do for the refs because it's easier. But just make sure that if it's not filled out for some reason, that you make sure that the date, time, field, the name, and the color of each team is filled out. It is a double-sided score sheet. And just keep score of the game. Whoever is doing that, make sure you do that. That's important. This is where you'd put any unsportsmanlike conduct, put their number and why, and then make sure you sign who was the ref and back judge and stuff. I don't know what they're called. Okay, this is more basic stuff for check-in. They need a UNCW ID to play. So if there's like someone that's just watching and they don't have it and they want to sign up, if they ask you, tell them they need a UNCW 1 card to play or a faculty card. They bring their own ball, but they can, like each team will usually use their own ball, but they can share the ball if everyone's cool with that. And we have flag belts for them and the jerseys or the pins. So. And this is for 4v4. We play with 4 people for men's, women's, and co-rec. You need at least 3 to start the game. Co-rec, you need to have a 2-to-1 ratio to, like for if you have 3 people, you need to have at least 2 males or 2 females and then 1 of the other gender. And if you have 4, you need to have 2 and 2. For equipment, all the stuff is stored back in the building. We have the pylons and the cones and the yard markers that will show you where they are when you get here, so you guys can set them up. You put them around the end zone. It's like 1, 2, and then 1 in the middle, I think, and then cones and stuff. Make sure their shirts are tucked in under the jersey so that you don't to reduce the pulling of that. You need to have sleeves. That's important too. A lot of people want to wear tank tops. Can't do that because sanitary problems, sweaty armpits is a problem, I guess. You need a flag belt, and we provide that. Make sure they're on properly, like facing the back. You can wear braces, and you can bring your own towel. You just have to, the quarterback has to move the towel after they're done. And this is an example of equipment, if it would not do that. Yeah, so here we're just looking at the fact that this guy is messing with his flag. It fell off and then it dropped, and you gotta have it on at all times. So if you need to stop and make sure he has that, go ahead and do that. That's important. So for illegal equipment, you can't play with pockets because they can pull on them and that's a thing. So, but if they do want to play with pockets, they are playing one-hand touch football, so they don't wear the flag. So they do one-hand touch, shoulders to knees. So that's just look out for that if that does happen in your game. If there's that, just to make sure that that player is a different case scenario. And if you can't wear sweatshirts with a hood because they can pull from the neck and that's dangerous for choking reasons. No hats, jewelry again, no jewelry, and no metal cleats. Questions? Cool?
Since this has been created and it was on, we do now allow pockets in flag football. The stipulation is that if they're going to play with pockets, you don't get to play with flags.
Yeah, I said that too, I think. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said
oh, okay, I don't know.
I saw the big point and he asked a question about it.
Yeah, so we encourage them to not wear pockets. It is our recommendation. Strong reasons they don't wear pockets, but some sports not pockets. If they have pockets, flags have a one-hand touch, which makes it infinitely easier for you.
Woo. Coin toss. This is what you do at the beginning to figure out who's got the ball and stuff. The visiting team will be determined on the score sheet, so it should say who's visiting, who's home. Just just the basics of you get to pick offense, defense, end of field, all that stuff. This is what happens like towards the captain's meeting. You tell them the rules and what they can and can't do, ask them questions, then you do this. Okay, that's cool. And the ball starts on the 10-yard line. Questions on coin toss? It's pretty easy. It's just, all right, so regular play, this is how long the field's 60 yards long, 30 yards wide, plays two 10-yard end zones. It's pretty, like once you see the field, it's really easy to just set it up. You snap the ball at the 10-yard line, you get 3 downs in 4v4, not 4. So that's, don't mess that up. No punting, no kicking, stop moving. And if the team doesn't convert, the opposing team gets the ball at the spot. Cool? This is what the field looks like. These are the pylons, the little orange, like, rectangle things that stand up. That's where they go. Questions on field setup? Okay. Games are 14-minute halves. You only stop for timeouts and the last minute of the second half. You only get 1 timeout per half, and you can't like stack them up and use them all at once, or in one half if you want. For overtime, you alternate attempts from the 3-yard line, 10-yard line, 20-yard line. Those are the point values for there. And then mercy rule is 28 points or more with 1 minute left of the whole game. Right? Not the whole game. These are for starting the clock. So in that last minute when you can stop the clock, these are why you would stop it. You have a major and minor. You have like incomplete passes, it's out of bounds, there's a timeout, touchdown, turnover, the inadvertent whistle, which is a mistake whistle, right? That's what you said? Yeah. Yeah, so you didn't mean to blow the whistle. Then you can also extend the period if that happens. And then for other ones, when there's a first down, you have a timeout because there's an injury or penalties. Questions? No? Cool. Extending the period, the period is only extended during the last down. There is, what is that? I can't remember what this says. So if you have offsetting penalties, that's when like there's a penalty on the offense and defense that cancel out. You can extend the period, the inadvertent whistles again, and touchdown.
So the thing is, one thing to keep in mind with this, you cannot have any game penalty. So in the situation, the first one is an accepted live ball penalty that is not penalized for dead ball, does not carry loss down. The game has to then continue. So say there's a pass interference in the final play of the game. On the defense, there's still another play to protect that because it doesn't carry loss down, and the offense can accept that penalty.
For co-rec, we do open and close play, which means that every play starts as open, and then if on that, like a male passes to a male, then that play will be closed for the next down. What that means is that a female has to be involved in some way, which means that she has to throw it or catch it. It has to be, like if she catches it, it has to be a complete pass. So if it's an incomplete pass and they drop it or whatever happens, then it's still a closed play. So you can't, it only gets open again once there's a complete play with a female involved. Yeah, I'll take that. And yeah, I'm done.
I'm going to cover some game basics with you all. We're going to go over the definitions that you all just worked on in your groups. Hopefully there's an opportunity for you to also get to know everyone. Before I continue, I am going to show you this box real quick. So in the back storage area next to the stripes, we have these boxes that are full of your supplies that you will need out there when you're on the field. In there will be timers. You'll have your pucks, your orange and your yellow, your flags, your down counters as well, and also bean bags. So all this will be here in your box, and a pen as well for your score sheet for you all when you go out there. So make sure you go in there, make sure it has everything in there, make sure your clock is working, because nothing's worse than starting the game and then you realize that your clock doesn't work. So keep that in mind when you come for your game, and then at the end of the night, everyone's equipment should be collected back up and put back in this box and then put on the shelf for the next crew the next night. All right, definitions. Who can tell me, group one, what a live ball is?
Ball that's in play.
Ball that's in play. Good work. When does the live ball start? Who can tell me that? No, not quite. What's the other thing? The snap, yep. So a live ball starts on the snap, and then it becomes dead when? When the play is over, which is indicated by the whistle. So our whistle should not end the play. The play should have already ended when we blow our whistle. And if we think of it like our whistle is just indicating the end of the play is already over when we blow our whistle. Hopefully you'll avoid blowing your whistle too early with an inadvertent whistle, because that's just awkward when you got to go back through and replay the down. Group 2, who can tell me what a down is? How many downs do we have in flag football? And 4-on-4. All right, group 2 is right here. Nope. Group 2?
Yeah, group 2 is the squad, right in the middle.
Okay, sorry, you all moving around, got me next. Group 2, how many downs do we have? 3. All right, what do we start with? What down do we start with? First down. Good work. Just making sure, got to keep you on your toes. Group 3, can you explain to me a running play?
Someone catches it and starts running.
Okay, so after the catches happen, that run after. In 4-on-4, we shouldn't have a running play of any other variety besides that post catch. What's a loose ball play? Ball's in the air. When the ball's in the air, what else? What's the other, I guess, part of it, of that? Besides just the throw, what else is it loose?
When it hits the ground.
When so after from the snap to the ball is caught, that entire thing is a loose ball. And then our run takes over after that. All right? What's a catch? What constitutes a catch?
Possession, at least 1 foot in the field of play.
All right, possession with 1 foot in the field of play. We don't go at the NFL 2 foot, it's just 1. Group 2, what's a simultaneous catch?
Oh man, we didn't do that.
All right, Sean, what's a simultaneous catch?
Okay, so they both, player A, player B, and offense, both go off the ball, catch it in the air, and come down with simultaneous possession. And then after that, play is dead. No. Play is dead.
Go to the possession arrow.
Play is dead. We'll go from the spot that it was caught, and it's offensive ball.
All right.
One of those the entire time. He's old.
Yeah, and most of the time it'll be offense comes down with it or defense comes down with it, and the other one just kind of grabs it as they're going to the ground. It is truly, they both have possessed it at the same time. And like I said, it's rare. I don't know if I've ever seen one yet. What is the ready for play whistle? Group 2. Group 2 hasn't done it yet. All right, we'll go, unless you got it. You think you got it?
Is that like the whistle that the official makes to signal that you can have the ball?
Perfect. Nailed it. So every play we need to announce our down. We'll say first down, 40 to gain, first down, goal to gain, and then we blow our whistle to indicate that we are ready for play. So yeah, that's the whistle that our referee is blowing to indicate that they can snap the ball. If they snap the ball prior to that, it's a penalty. So good call. And again, we'll go over a little more depth with penalty enforcement, how we're going to enforce that tomorrow night. Fumble. Group 3. What's a fumble here in flag football? So what happens if I'm running and I kick the ball out of my hand and it goes to the turf? Down. Yep. So there are no fumbles. You can't strip the ball from someone like you would see. It is purely I'm running, I lose possession of the ball. The ball is down where I lose possession of it, or where it hits the ground. What's the goal line? Group 1.
Where the team can score.
Okay. Where the team can.
Ball passes the line.
Okay. Repeat that for me.
Where the team can score.
Okay. And then when do we cross what needs to cross the goal line for the score?
The ball.
Yep. So the ball needs to cross the goal line. Break the plane. What is handing? This is the one that got a lot of people because it just is awkward. But what is handing? Hand the ball off. And you can hand the ball off anywhere on the field in any direction. So I can be running with the ball, turn, and hand it forward to Sean Clark running across the field. I have to hand the ball off. I can't toss it forward. I can toss it backwards, but I have to hand the ball off forward. I can hand it anywhere on the field in any direction. What?
We're like stumbling across the field.
Well, yes, for you. What's the neutral zone? Group 1. The neutral zone.
I thought you said something about demo.
Bruce, you've done this before. What's the neutral zone?
Zone between the pucks.
Yep. So we set our pucks up. We'll put one puck on the ground right there, and there should be about a yard between, and you put the other puck down. The space between is the neutral zone. No one is allowed to go between the neutral zone. So if you see someone line up in it, you can use your voice, use that active officiating, tell them, hey, can you, red, take 2 steps back for me, and back them up. They cross the neutral zone, it's a penalty. And it's unlike the NFL, where if I cross it on defense, I can go back. The second you cross it, it's a penalty. So it's important that we're aware of it. Again, no one's in the neutral zone, handy.
Here's the thing, it's 4-on-4, they can't rush the quarterback, they should ignore it.
Should be.
Just enough.
Should be. Someone will do it.
I'm waiting for a 4 Mississippi rush.
So, who's our passer? What is our passer? Group 2. Yep, person throwing the ball forward. What's a forward pass, group 3? Behind the line of scrimmage. If I throw it beyond the line of scrimmage forward, it's a legal forward pass, and I can throw it backwards anywhere on the field. Can I throw it forward more than once? Can I throw it backwards more than once? Yes, so you can throw it backwards as many times as you like. You can only throw it forward once. Scrimmage line is marked by what? Orange, so O, offense, orange. And then tagging, I'm guessing this is referring to one-hand touch, is that correct? Yeah, so one-hand touch. If I'm running, and I say I'm wearing flags, so I'm not wearing pockets, I'm running and my flag falls off just because it was poorly put on. It is one-hand touch for that person who's running, and you should announce one-hand touch, because people, if I'm just running, my flag fall off, people will stop running because they're like, oh, he's down. I'm not down until it is pulled, or I'm one-hand touch. If I'm wearing pockets and I'm not wearing flags, it is one-hand touch from the shoulders to the knees. Or is it? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Is it gonna play? Hey Andy, can you play for me? There's no sound, unfortunately, again.
There should be.
It's not. It wasn't working earlier.
Oh, it's thinking about it. There we go.
All right, so we have video. What type of play was this? Loose ball. Did we have really any running involved with this play? No, good. As you can see, ball starts back here, ball goes forward, player gets flag pulled, our official goes, picks the pucks up, moves them forward. Puts the one down, puts the other one down.
What you see here,
Yeah.
right here, you see Caleb counting? I know this is probably 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. He's counting down. He's going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when he gets to 0, the ball's still in the quarterback's hand. The play is dead. So he's counting out loud, and you can see he's turning. When we talk about positioning, all he's doing is he's just doing this. He knows the quarterback ain't going anywhere. Because if he does, he's like, he crossed the line, I'm dropping flag. But he's watching the players downfield. So that's what he's doing right there. That's why he doesn't live line of scrimmage.
Flag gets pulled. Flag gets pulled. If you can hear the sound, after the flag's pulled, we hear our whistle. Whistle has to be blown every time. And again, we're indicating that the play is dead. We are not blowing the ball dead. So live ball versus dead ball. So the snap, as we mentioned, is when the ball becomes live. It remains live until the down ends. So until the end of first down, the ball is live. Typically, the play is over, and then we blow our whistle. So then the ball is dead. When the official blows his or her whistle, the ball is normally already dead. If you have an invert whistle, kill the play, and you have 2 options. So say, I catch the ball, I'm running upfield, Roshan blows the whistle because he thinks my flags are still on and I keep going. Roshan has blown his whistle, everyone has stopped, most likely. But Roshan has blown his whistle, he now needs to own up to it, blow his whistle, kill the play, and we have 2 options. If it's during a loose ball, we replay the down if the ball's in the air. So the ball has been thrown, Roshan, for whatever reason, believes that I caught. He has blown the whistle. The ball is down in the middle of the air. No one has possession. We're going to replay the down. It is during the run, we're going to take the spot where the whistle was blown, and it will be the next down. Or we have the option to replay the down. So in my situation, where I'm running, he thinks my flag has been pulled. It is not. He blows the whistle. He needs to get that spot where I was when he blew that whistle. And then we're either going to say, all right, Blue, you have two options. You can replay the down from where you last snapped it, or you can take it here and we'll continue forward. So if it was first down, I cut the ball. It is now second down where my flag got pulled. Second down, and then we will continue from there. So again, two options if it's during a run play. Take it where it was blown, or we're going to replay the down. A play ends in a number of scenarios. Player goes out of bounds. If any part of the player touches the ground except the feet or hand, so an arm, elbow, knee, chest, pass becomes incomplete. A backward pass or a fumble hits the ground. We have a simultaneous catch. The flag belt is removed legally, or one-hand touch if the flag is fall off, or one-hand touch between the shoulders and the knees if they're not wearing flags. So these are the situations where the ball becomes dead. So we have our first one. See, player hits the ground, ball is dead, he's hit the ground, we blow our whistle. I'll say, you're probably not going to be able to see this video on the film. Say, do you want to hit the lights? It might help us hit the lights.
Yeah, I think I come back on.
How they did earlier. All right, so you see quarterback sitting in the pocket, throws the ball across the middle, incomplete. All right, so the ball is dead. Once we know that it is incomplete, ball's hit the ground. Our next one. When does the ball become dead on this one? Yep, when his foot steps out of bounds. So you can see it's real quick. He steps out right back there. So the ball will become dead there. We make sure you got to blow our whistle, end the play, get down the field, mark that spot quickly. And you can see if you, on the, with sound, you can hear the team in yellow yelling, his foot's on the line, his foot's on the line. So, yeah, and we got it on film. This is a good one.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if you're like, you know how you to like have a catch, you just have to have 1 foot in. So like if you catch it, like in an instance like that, with 1 foot in, and then you start running, and then you go for those out of bounds, comes back in, are you good?
Yeah, so if I've had the 1 foot and then I step out, the catch is good, and then it's just out of bounds where I stepped out. Or it's the other team, or it's a catch where I stepped out of bounds, plays over there, and they get the ball at that point. Is that what you asked?
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
What if 1 foot is in and 1 foot is out simultaneously at the same time?
Oh, you would be out then. Incomplete pass. So yeah, so if the line's right here, and I catch it like this, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Alyssa. It is out. They're considered out. Even though they had the 1 foot, they're considered out of bounds because they're out of bounds. Going back to the old play. When is this play considered over? Yep. Hold his flag belt.
This play's an inadvertent whistle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So she blows her whistle
Yeah.
right there. Should hand go up.
So this is the same situation I was discussing, where I think the flag is pulled, the ref blows the play dead, and the guy's flag is not pulled. So in this situation, she would need to blow that whistle a couple more times, end the play, and then we're giving her two options. What are their two options? What was it?
Retry the down or go from the spot.
Yep, retry the down, and they're going to take it that one spot right there. Good work. And it's awkward. It's kind of stinks to end the play like that. Wow, that is bright quick. It kind of stinks. A lot of times they have gained something out of it, but now you got to kind of be like, sorry, this is what it is. So own up to it and just make sure it doesn't happen again. So again, our neutral zone, 1 yard line, 1 yard wide, indicated with our two pucks. Orange is for offense, yellow is for defense. No one can be in the neutral zone, and the offense must have one snapper on the line of one snapper, who's the center snapping the ball on the line of scrimmage. If they put the ball in the cone, just tell them to put it to the side and snap from the side, because what'll happen is they'll break the cone if they keep putting it on top. So have them put the ball to the side and just snap it from the side of it, and we'll go over that here. So the snap must be one continuous motion. So this is my football. I have to start from down here, and I can't go like forward and then back. I have to go straight forward. I have to go straight back. I can go straight back between my legs. I can't go up and then back. Not one continuous motion. So it needs to be one continuous motion back to the passer. The player receiving the snap must be at least 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's not like high school football, college football, NFL, where they're standing right up behind them. They have to leave 2 yards. Only one offensive player may be in motion at the time of the snap, so you may see players running back and forth. Only one can be in motion, and they can't be running towards the line of scrimmage. It's not like the Arena Football League where they can just run towards the line of scrimmage. They have to be going side to side or backwards. If the player's in motion, they're not on the line of scrimmage. So that center cannot be moving around as he's snapping the ball. And all players must be at least 5 yards away from the sideline and inbounds at the time they're ready for play. So when we have that ready for play whistle, the ref is indicating that we're good to go. They have to be on the field. They can't be hanging out on the sideline doing their thing. Sean Clark, it's your turn.
Sweet. So we're going to keep it simple here. We're going to go over what a pass is, and that sounds mundane and horrible, but it's super important when we're looking at 4v4 since that's literally all that's done in this game between the time the ball is snapped and between the time the ball is caught. So each down must have one forward pass, must be behind the line of scrimmage, thrown for a change of, before a change of possession, and the A receiver must touch the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. For those of you that watch football on Sundays, or for those of you that did 7-on-7 with us, oftentimes, especially in co-rec games, you would have a male quarterback shovel pass to a girl behind the line of scrimmage, and she would run through, and that would open the play. We'll get into that in a second. That's not the case here. It has to go through the line of scrimmage and break that, kind of break that glass wall, if you will, and that's something, that's terminology we'll use later on. Once a ball is thrown, is it considered a pass until it is caught or incomplete? Team A has 5 seconds to release the ball on a forward pass. The referee will sound whistle if passer is still in possession. So they hate me a lot for this because when I count down from 5, as soon as I'm done saying the word 1, if there's a split second between when I grab my whistle and blow it and when they may get rid of the ball in that time, I make them come back because they don't like that. But 5 seconds. Is that clear? Any questions on that? It's pretty straightforward. Any player is eligible to catch a pass. A player that goes out of bounds and returns, though, that's considered illegal participation, just like in the NFL. You can't run down the sideline, come back in, be the first person to touch the ball. Team may throw as many backward passes or pitches as they would like. They can be thrown anywhere on the field. So this could be after a completed catch or a completed pass, or it could be behind the line of scrimmage before the ball is thrown. That being said, you cannot throw the ball backwards and then run it through the line. You have to have a legal forward pass to advance the ball down the field. No defensive player, Team B, may cross the neutral zone until the pass is released. This is why we shouldn't have any problems with neutral zone infractions because we're not allowed to rush anyway. Is that all clear? No, it's mundane. All right, a legal catch. We just talked about this, but a player must have possession of the ball, land in bounds with at least 1 foot in bounds. If a ball is caught simultaneously by an offensive and defensive player, it is dead and belongs to the offense. All these things we've gone over. After an incomplete pass, the ball is next snapped at the previous spot. So just like in the NFL, incomplete pass will go back to where we snapped the ball before. It'll be second or third down. What just happened? But it looked like the passer. Oh, so you had a catch. You had a catch there, and then because the first pass was through the line of scrimmage, there's your legal forward pass. After that, all's fair game as far as backward passes go.
Do you have a flag team? Utilize that.
Absolutely. You guys should also think about getting flag teams because you know the rules better than everybody else. But we won't get into that right. All right, running. A runner is a player in possession of the ball. They may not stiff arm defensive players or guard the flag belt. We have flag guarding as a call for that. We'll go over that later. While you're a runner, after you catch a ball, because this is 4v4, the ball may be handed in any direction. We've gone over that. If the ball strikes the ground, it is dead where the ball hits the ground and belongs to the team who fumbled the ball. if the ball is smacked out of your hands, ball's going to be down right there. There's going to be an illegal contact penalty on the defense for another 10 yards at the end of that. 5? Oh, because it's 4v4. Yeah, it's 3 and 5. All right, my bad. All right. No A team may run the ball through the line of, through the neutral zone or line of scrimmage. Again, you got to pass the ball to advance it. Look, the same play. It's still a touchdown. How about that? Cool. Okay, so the momentum rule. How many of you think you know what the momentum rule before you read the screen? Know what it is before you read the screen? All right, Andy, do you think you know what it is? All right. All right. The momentum rule applies when a defensive player catches a fumble, I don't like that term, or forward/backward pass between his/her 5-yard line and the goal line. So you have an interception, the player is catching that between the goal line and the 5. Then his or her momentum carries them into the end zone and the ball becomes dead. So whether they're deflagged, what have you. So long as their momentum carried them, we're going to put the ball back where it was intercepted. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? That's a little confusing. The defensive team will have the ball at the spot of the catch/recovery of the ball. It's declared dead in the end zone. Does this count? Does this include if someone were to catch the ball and run into the end zone?
No, think of it this way, that this is to prevent them from taking a knee and taking it out to the 10 if they intercept it within the 5. But if I catch it and then I change directions to go back into the end zone, my force has now brought me into the end zone. So I caused the ball to go in there. It's now a safety. You may see this once or twice a year, but we have to put it in here because most people bring it out from 10 or 14 in the 7-on-7 game and just don't know the rules. So we put it in here, we'll talk about it here, we'll talk about it outside. The best thing you can do is just watch the play and then go, that was funny. What do I have to do from here? And it is to put it back to wherever they caught the ball.
Any questions on that? Blank stares. Cool. Scoring. Yeah, this is me. Touchdowns are worth 6 points. Extra points, we have 3 lines out there. We have the 1 yard, or the 3 yard line rather, that's 1 point. The 10-yard line, which is where we'll start each drive from, except going the other way, that's 10 yards. And then we'll let them go for 3 points at the 20-yard line if they need it. This is different for co-rec. Sid, if...
It's all the same.
Did we... More change? All right.
We changed it last year, we're not changing it back.
Okay, so female touchdowns are now 6. Cool, then forget about it. Forget anything I was gonna say. We do not have interceptions on a try play. If you intercept the ball, play is dead. They don't get to run it back. It's not an extra point or 2 points or what have you like they do on Saturdays and Sundays. Safeties are 2 points. Make sure we understand the difference between a safety and a touchback. If you catch the ball in the end zone as an interception and then you're deflagged, that's a touchback. We just went over the momentum rule. Between the goal line and the 5, we'll put it where the ball was. If you're in your own end zone and you get deflagged, which I'm not sure how that would happen in 4v4, but it could. It's a safety. Mercy rule is 28 points or more under 1 minute. Any questions? Cool. All right, so we have co-rec, we have open and closed plays, and during an open play, any player may complete a legal forward pass to any other player. That's fine. After a male-to-male completion, the play will become closed. When plays are closed, a female has to be involved. So she can either throw the ball or catch the ball legally in order to open that play back up. If there's a male-to-male reception on a closed play, penalty flag, 3-yard penalty, illegal male-to-male reception. Any questions on that? No? Pretty straightforward. Yes, sir? So if Andy and I are playing 4v4 and I'm QB and I throw the ball to him for a 5-yard gain, the play is now closed. So Alyssa's on our team. She now either needs to be the receiver and catch the ball, or the quarterback and throw the ball to whoever she wants in order for that play to be considered open again.
So then that's before the ball.
So it's 2 separate plays. First down, I throw the ball to Andy, 5-yard gain. Second down, play is closed. I'm quarterback. I have to throw the ball to Alyssa or another female legally. Or females can be quarterbacks and can throw to whoever they want, and the play is always open. We had a GA before Ryan who loved to play flag football, and she was always quarterback, and those teams always won because she could throw to whoever she wanted to all the time. Cool.
Just remember the 3 criteria. You gotta have a forward pass. Clearly, this game you have to have one. The female has to be the thrower, the receiver, and it's got to have a positive yard. So really, what you need is a female involved. It's essentially what it is. So if you ever have her at close play, she's either gonna throw or she's gonna catch it. And if there's an incomplete pass, the status doesn't change.
Right. Cool. We just went over that. Penalties do not affect the openness or closedness of the play. So if we have, so let's say we have defensive holding, we got a 5-yard penalty, and the play was just closed, we're gonna move the offense forward 5 yards, that play's still gonna be closed.
Provided it's an incomplete pass without the
Right. Provided that it was an incomplete pass before. Now, if there was a completion, a legal completion, and a female was involved, then the play is going to be open. The point is, it's not dictated by the penalty on the field. Anything small. All right. I don't know whether that play was open or closed to begin with,
It
so
was close. You didn't go quarterback.
I would like to politely disagree. All right.
Close play, female quarterback, incomplete pass, next play still closed. This is just showing a 7-on-7 game where I believe we have a closed play and you have a female quarterback.
All right. Well, that wasn't working. It was just like looping.
No problem.
All right, it's all good. All right, overtime. Visiting team calls a coin toss. Make sure you know which team is visiting. It should be on your scorecard. It is not always. Go check. It's not that hard.
It's the same team we called the first one.
Right. They have 3 options: offense, defense, or side of field. Because this is overtime, they don't have the option to defer, right? They will play towards the same goal in all overtimes. So if one side of the field is really crummy, not that we should have that problem out here on turf, and one team says, oh, we want this side the entire game because it'll be better, then the other team gets to pick offense or defense from there. First time, there's only one timeout for the entirety of overtime, so whether we play 4 of these 1.2 or 3 tries or only one timeout. That's it. If we're still tied after each person has tried the points, repeat until the tie is broken alternating teams. Pretty straightforward. Any questions about that? Cool. I don't think this is me.
Oh, that's me.
Cool. All right. As officials, you will have the responsibility of grading each team on their sportsmanship throughout the game, 1 through 5. Normally we go with, I don't know, if they've done an average job, they haven't given you a hard time all night, typically we go with a 3. It's very similar to basketball. If they were the worst, let me put it this way, if they had 1 or 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, giving you a hard time kind of all night, we'll bump them down to a 2. If we had an ejection or a fight or something like that, that's when we go to a 1. Why does this matter? Because they cannot advance or play in the playoffs if they do not have an average of 2.5. So y'all's input and whether you want to deal with them or not, and if they deserve to not play in the playoffs, is the power's given to you. Everybody should have an opinion on this, and it should be done right after the game. There's a place for you to put it on your scorecard.
If you're giving it 2, you need to
Here's some
tell your
criteria.
supervisor.
Yeah, this is just explaining, I mean, why someone deserves what number. Usually, most of the teams are pretty solid. Some Greek teams, some other teams get pretty rowdy. But I mean, you can, it just depends. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You'll know when there's 2 over 1 based on how mean they are to you.
These aren't like hard set criteria. You know, say you have, you know, maybe they just argued with you the entire game and you never threw a UC. They're just always in your ear. Well, I don't think they deserve a 4 just because they didn't get it called on them, right? Very much up to you guys. This is some guidelines to help you make your decisions.
98% of what you grade out there is going to be between a 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Rarely will you, especially in 4 and 4 5, will you be down to 2 and 1 range. If you're down in the 1 range, I hope you have a supervisor because punches are going to be thrown. But a 2 is likely in this for us. We've had it before.
Cool.
All right, this is
Is this you?
this is the last thing. This isn't considered sportsmanship, so
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
I can do it. I'll take the mic for thanks. All right, cool. Just gonna. Cool. So handling conflict, there's like a step system on how you should handle conflict at first. Some people will be rowdy and start yelling. The main thing with like handling conflict is if they attack you and say like, you're the worst, you stink, you're terrible. If they like come like attack you personally, that's when you can use a quiet word and tell them, or take your, is that the next thing? Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is just the levels of intensity. Once they start like attacking you or your partner, that's when you need to start taking action. And if they start attacking another player, like specifically, like you're the worst person, like you're terrible at football, go home. Why are you even trying? You know, stuff like that. So you can start off with a quiet word, which is just like a one-on-one, like Brad, chill out, stop being so mean. And then you can make it, that's like just between you and that person. If they keep getting out of hand or their team is still being annoying, you can go ahead and make a public statement and make sure everyone who's playing knows that this is getting like out of hand and that if something else happens after this, more measures will be taken, which is when you'd want to go ahead and have another captain's meeting with everyone to let them know that if your team doesn't control themselves, we will not give them a technical foul because that's basketball. Yeah, so you're not going to tee them up because that's not the sport. I mean, you could if you want, just for the fun of it, but you're going to give them an unsportsmanlike conduct and write down the number on your little score sheet. If they're like really, really bad, like worse than all of that, which, I mean, I think I've seen like one person, I don't even know if I've seen anyone get ejected for something like that yet because I'm new, but if they have to get ejected, that's when you have to tell a supervisor and write it all up. And looks like Andy wants to talk.
So I wrote this a long time ago, and clearly it hasn't changed a whole lot in the 7 years that I've been here. So what I say, go back one slide. That's horrible. What don't they like? The call, right? It's horrible. You come out on a Tuesday or Friday night and watch basketball, you hear a lot of it. You're horrible or you suck. Now says I think something about you. Makes you not feel so good inside, right? These aren't tolerated. Ignore that one, it's basketball. These aren't tolerated. There are a couple automatic ejections. GD, saying the F-bomb loud enough for 6 fields to hear it, and then attacking you personally. We've implemented this issue that if they come at you personally, they're sitting in sports season. Not a game, not 2 games, all the way to the end of May. So if they don't like you, they don't like it in real sports. So we've stiffened our opponent in this. So if you run them, fill out a good report because then they come into my office and I can be like, what'd you say? If there were some of my supervisors in the room, I'd be like, well, you told them they sucked, that you were going to fall into the parking lot, and that you know where they live. I
All
wish
the things that have been said.
I wish I could make that up, but that was in one ejection report here at this university, my current supervisor. So, he really didn't know where they lived, but he was like, I'm gonna follow you home. So, put that information in there because then guess what? The dean of students office got that. And it was like, you threatened a student, you violated the student code of contact and Seahawks respect compact. Tell me how that's a good student here, why we should keep you as a student. It's a little tough to swallow when you have to go against the dean of students, right? So make sure you have that and know why they're mad. I like to say this, and for my supervisors and Ryan in the room, how many of you blown a call? And for my officials that I see sitting around the room, right here, how many times have you admitted you were wrong?
On the field?
Yeah, a lot, right? I have. Here's what you don't want to do. And the example I have is perfect from one of the times I officiated this here. Some kid goes up, this is basketball. He goes up, gets the ball, throws it off the kid's head, and they get ready to go down the floor. And guess what I did? And I hit the whistle strong. It's like you throw a flag. You're like, I threw that flag, I got it. Here in flag football, you can pick it up and wave it off. Basketball, I couldn't do it. So I go, I'm like, I got it. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Go report my file. I turned around, he's standing right beside me. And he goes, you know that was bad. I said, it sure was. You know what he said? Okay, and he walked away. I admitted I was wrong. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong sometimes. Turn this off so my wife doesn't see it. But make sure that if you do, you do it once again. Thankfully with flag football, you gotta pick that flag up if you have a mistake. And sometimes you can talk about it. But if you do make that mistake, you blow the inadvertent. That's my fault. I will work hard to make sure that doesn't happen again. What I don't want to say is, I'll make it up to you. Now what happens when I say I want to make it up to you? I'm not going to go screw his team over, is what you're saying, right? We don't want to do that. I'm going to work hard so it doesn't happen again. And that's the line I use when coach is like, that's a horrible call. Yes, I may have missed it. I didn't say I missed it, I said I may have. I will work hard to make sure I keep getting them right. It's a subtle shift in how you talk to somebody. If they come up to you and say, did you see this? Sometimes it could be as simple as, what'd you have? From your angle, I may have missed it. I'm not saying I missed it, I said, from the way he saw it, he had something different. Then they think, hey, you know what? He said I'm right. No, I said, you had a different angle, and then I'm still right. But that's beside the point. Go to the next slide for me. These are steps that we've outlined that will help you out. This one I also say, find a friend. If Roshan is cussing up a storm, but it's not loud enough for anybody to hear. What's your name?
Danny.
Danny goes, I'm like, hey, will you take care of it for me? I don't have a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. Yo, man, shut your damn mouth. And it's like, oh, man, did what I didn't want you to do. But find that friend. Usually it's a safety or a quarterback. So find that friend to help you out. Again, 4-on-4 flag. It's pretty wide open. There's about 3 people here to watch. So it's usually not that competitive. They usually out here to have fun. And it's a lot easier to officiate than 7-on-7. It can become intense sometimes, but try to find that friend or the question. Public warning is, I say develop a look or a saying. Mine's always hey with a kind of a look behind it. Develop something so they know you're serious. Don't do this too late. Somebody tried this on us when we were in grad school. There were 3 minutes to go in a basketball game, tied ball game, and they brought captains together. And they're like, hey, so it's a little chippy out there. Will you take team that we can't have this kind of competitiveness? I'm like, it is a quarterfinal game, we're getting ready to beat them.
Did you win?
Yes, we did. But I'm like, they come out and they're like, hey, so I'm like, there's 2 minutes left on the clock to start teaming people up. Or in this case, they're unsportsmanlike conduct. Get this one early. If you can't do it in the first half, or relatively close to start the second half, don't do it. Unsportsmanlike conduct. This is a last resort. They can run through every one of these steps and get here pretty quickly. By saying a few choice words, when handling somebody they shouldn't be, or coming at you like they shouldn't be. They get here pretty quick. Don't make threats. One more word, you're going, what's gonna happen? Word. Guess what you gotta do now? You gotta act. Because if you don't act, then you're just like, oh, we're gonna race that line, we're gonna back up a little bit. Then you're gonna come at you again. We're gonna race that line and come back at you. Or they're legitimately gonna have a question 2 plays later. Hey, Mr. Official, Miss Official, what about this? And you're like, go on, I told you not to talk to me. That's not good officiating. So draw a line in county periods, have had enough. But also when you make that stance, if they do have a question, still present that openness to where they can come talk to you. Because you want to make sure that we have that good relationship. I always said, if they're talking to you, say, hey, watch for this, guess what they're telling you? They're telling you where the fouls are going to happen. We just did basketball training about 4 weeks ago, or 5 weeks ago. Hey, we watched the hand checking up top. We watched the arms on the post. Ding! Where should I look at? Hey, the arms on the post. Hey, the hand's out front. I may have been focusing over here when I should have been over here. They're going to tell you where those things are, so listen to them. Questions on that? All right, that's back right there. We're dealing with it. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is.
All right, so with 4v4 flag football, we do use two person mechanics. We only have 2 people on the field to officiate, which is different than 7v7 flag football if you worked with us last semester, where you had 4 person mechanics. So the typical starting position for each of the 2 officials, so you have your R, who's going to be serve as the ref/line judge, and you're going to line up at the line of scrimmage. And if you guys can remember when we defined the line of scrimmage, that's where the ball is snapped from. So that's going to be your orange cone. The back judge/field judge is going to be lined up about 8 to 10 yards down the field. An easy way to determine where that is you're going to look at the quarterbacks and the defense to see how they're lined up, and you're going to want them to be in front of you. You don't want a defensive player to be behind you. So the way you should think about it is trying to box in the play. Yeah. Cool. So this shows the R counting down. They have 5 seconds to get rid of the ball. They're lined up straight across so they can see if anyone jumps offsides for a false start or unusual infraction. And as soon as the play ends, they're going to go run, pick up the pucks, and the back judge is going to hold that spot until the R marches off the distance. Additionally, before you do pick up the pucks, you want to survey the field to make sure there is no flags. So you're going to leave the pucks in place if there is a flag, and then you're going to force the penalty. And your back judge should keep that spot. And that's as easy as you go pick up the pucks, you walk across, you look across, and then you get chopped in. So similar play, the back judge in this case had to backtrack in order to get that spot. For the most part, any large yardage plays are going to be picked up by the back judge, and then any short distance plays are going to be picked up by the R. So as soon as the ball is snapped, the R no longer has to be on the line of scrimmage. You can start moving your way up the field because we know the quarterback is not allowed to move through the line of scrimmage. What's that? Oh, cool. So this shows, again, what I was talking about earlier. So the video starts at the end of the play, and the R is lining up with the back judge. They're getting chopped in, and then they're lining back up on the sideline. And she's kind of jogging a little bit. So don't, and then the play happens before she makes it back to the sideline. You don't want to blow your ready for play whistle until you're in position and your partner's also in position as well. When you set the pucks, you want to do it as fast as you can, but the play is on your whistle, and they do have timeouts, so you're not doing it as fast as they want to. They can make that timeout. You just want to make sure you're in the position and take that opportunity to catch your breath and get set. So this is like one of your short yardage situations where the back judge did backtrack all the way back, but typically your R is going to be able to pick that one up because it's happened right in front of you. And then, so positioning for goal line and scoring plays is going to be a little bit different. So if the ball is within the 5, 8 yard line, the R's first move is going to be towards the goal line after the ball is snapped. So you're going to be on the line just to see the ball snapped to make sure nothing happens pre-snap wise, there's no false start, no one running through the neutral zone. And then as soon as the ball is legally snapped, you're going to move straight to the pylon. And the reason you move to the goal line is so that you can get as soon as the ball crosses the plane. So as soon as the tip of the ball crosses the plane, that's when you're able to signal a score. Your back judge is going to be positioned in the back corner, so you're going to be on the in line. And their responsibility is to grab anything in the back of the end zone. And additionally, the R and the back judge are going to want to communicate on who's got feet, who's got the hands to know if there was a catch and if it was inbounds for a score. And we'll go over that tomorrow when we go into the positioning more in depth. So in this video, the R left the line of scrimmage a little bit early. You're going to want to wait until the ball is snapped, and then that's when your first step is going to happen. But where he ended up is exactly where you want to be, right on the line, to make sure you have the score as soon as it crosses the line of scrimmage. And additionally, whoever signals the score, so if it happened on the back judge's side or the R side, you're going to want to do a flag check, make sure they legally had their flags secured. Danny, I think you're up.
Sorry. All right, so going forward.